Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, a puzzle by James Copp, and that just always makes me smile. I like doing James's puzzles. They're incredibly reliable for a sort of a challenge, but a conquerable one. I mean, it is one of the absolute features of Sudokus and puzzles in general that their constructors are trying to fight a battle with you that they want to lose. It is an intriguing thought when you consider that, but it's definitely true. And we will have a look at James's puzzle in a moment. Looking forward to it, as I say. First of all, don't forget that on Patreon we have other stuff like crosswords, connections videos, and indeed a new hunt coming on the 1st of September, which we're really looking forward to bringing you. It's quite exciting. We've got SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD on the links under the video. We've got all of our apps, which do feature line Sudoku and thermo Sudoku, but also Fog of War, and of course, the worms of Marty Sears and James Sinclair particularly. Do check those out. They are fantastic stuff, fantastic products, fantastic innovative Sudoku, and we urge you to give it a try. There's also other things in the links under the video, including the catalogue of all our puzzles and the Discord server, snail mail address, loads of ways to interact. Do leave a kind comment on the puzzle for the setter. They do love to read them. Now, I'm going to read the rules, and we're going to find out that normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Adjacent digits along a green German whispers line have a difference of at least 5. Digits increase from the bulb to the end of the thermometer. And a digit in a square counts the number of odd digits, including itself, on its line or thermometer. Every line seems to have one of these squares, and every thermometer has one, i.e. the one thermometer has one. Okay, and that's counting the number of odd digits, including itself. All right, well, intriguing. Do give it a try on that first link in the description field. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, how do we crack on with this? We've got... Well, we know the normal things about green lines, of course, that they don't have 5 on, that they alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5 to maintain the necessary difference. And that 4 and 6 can only be placed on a green line where where in a spot where there's either only one neighbour or 2 neighbours or more that don't see each other. So none of these can be 4 or 6. However, every digit on this line could be 4 or 6, which is quite strange. Now, this digit obviously is low. Actually, that's going to apply here as well, because these lines aren't more than 4 in length. So the same is true there. These must all be low digits, and then we can alternate between high and low on those lines. This line too, the digit must be low, because the line is 5 long and we can't put 5 on the line. So that must be a low digit. And again, we can alternate high and low. This one is low as well. Why can't I see that that's a 4-digit line? Then we've got this one as well. There are 5 digits on the line. Oh no, hang on. This isn't an alternating line at all, is it? This is a line... Well, this digit could be 5 this time. So I can't mark it as low, but yeah, it's very tempting to just do the same thing. That digit is either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. This is on... Well, how big is this line? 7 cells. And this line is 8 cells long. Okay, let's just leave the colouring where it is now. This digit is 1, 2 or 3. If it's either 3 or 2, oh, well, we know. No, I'm so sorry. I have to be very careful between polarity and parity in what I'm colouring. What I'm colouring in this puzzle is high and low. High is orange, low is blue. I'm going to use a different colour. I'm going to use red for high because I don't want to get confused, as I was for a second, into thinking that this is showing me 2 odd digits around that square cell. It's not necessarily. These could all be, could they be, could this be 1? Yes, touching 6 and 8. That's how that would work. Okay, this digit is 1, 2, or 3 because it's in a position where you can't have a monogamous digit, a 4 or a 6. Now, that one is also 1, 2, or 3 for the same reason. Now, they can't both be even. And these two come from 7, 8, 9. They can't both be even. So at least one of those two is odd, at least one of these two is odd, and this digit can't be a 1 anymore, which is surprising, maybe not incredibly powerful. But these digits are also from 1, 2, no, hang on, neither of those can be 4 for this very simple reason. If you put a 4 there, it would be saying that 4 other digits on the line were odd, because 4 itself is not odd, and there aren't 4 other digits on either of those lines. This one could be 4, if all of these could be odd, but actually they can't be. How do I know? Well, this one can't be 4 because it's in a position where you can't put a monogamous digit, you can't put 2 9s there, but also I'd noticed that those 3 digits all have to be different, and there are only 2 high digits that are odd. Anyway, that is 1, 2, or 3 as well. Now, we've got a triple here. What does that mean to us? I don't know. Now, if this was high, it couldn't be 7, it couldn't be 6. That would have to be the 6 in high digits in the row. That's actually not that powerful, is it? Okay, I don't know that it's going to help, but I'm going to colour this with some other colours. Let's say green and purple. I don't know which one's high and which one's low. Now, it's got the square on. If that was high, say that was a 6, then 6 of these digits would have to be odd. Oh no, that's very doable. Okay, I am going to think about this one now. Now, we said that there's only 5 digits on the line. So 5 is the maximum digit that can go here. Now, there's also got to obey thermo rules, so that can't be a 1 because this has to be something. This is now 1, 2, 3, or 4 and is definitely low. I want to say that this is high, but I'm not sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, and it might not be. No, I'm not sure. These are high, these are high. Yeah, I don't quite know what I'm meant to be looking at yet. That is 2 or 3. No, that hasn't changed what these are. One of these could still be a 7, as long as that was 1 and that was 2. I'm thinking I ought to be focusing on this trio of 1, 2, 3. But I don't really know how to make progress with it. I'm trying to imagine any of them that is a 1 has to be using even digits on the rest of its line. Any of them that is a 3 In this case, it would be using odd digits on the rest of its line. And in these cases, 2 out of 3 odd digits. I don't know what that does. Even in the case of the 2, it's going to be much the same as the 3 because itself will be an even digit. Sorry if that's not grammatical. Okay. In this row, maybe, we've got 3 lows already. So one of these 2 must be low. Now let's just do some alternation on this line with 2 new colours, yellow and grey. One of these 2 is low. That means either this is high or this is low. Right, for this to be high, it's on a 7 cell line. It would be, well, it couldn't be 6. Oh, that's interesting. It couldn't be 6 because both of these would have to be 1. So it would have to be 7. But then these would be 1 and 2, and one of those is a 2, and not all of the things are low. Not all of the things on the line are odd. So that is not high. That must be low. Right. That's good. And then we can make yellow into red. Yellow is definitely high. Now, that wasn't quite what I wanted in row 4, but it might yield something else. This digit is 1, 2, or 3. Now, I don't think it's 1 because that is odd in its own right, and there are 5 digits in this box. And therefore, well, 3 of them are red, and there are only 2 even red digits, 6 and 8. So at least one of those is odd. So 1 won't work. Now, it would be quite nice to prove that 2 won't work, and then we'd finally get a digit in this puzzle. For it to be 2, the trouble is, then it's not odd itself. In fact, whether that is 2 or 3, only 2 more odd digits appear on its line. One of those, at least, must be in these red cells. Oh, okay. Hang on. Right. For these 2 to both be even, one of them would have to be 4, and it would have to be here, but that would make both of these odd. And then that would be all of the odd digits we could possibly have on this line, whether that was a 3 and odd itself. So if these 2 were both even, these 2 would be the 2 odd digits in boxes 1 and 4 on this green line. Gosh, this is quite complicated, but it's very clever, I think. However, if these included an odd digit, that would be 1 odd already, and these must include an odd, and that would be the second odd on the line. So if these are both even, they are 2 and 4, those are both 9, and this is a 6-8 pair, which will require us to go 6-1-8 here, 6-1-8. If, on the other hand, one of these is odd, and that's the maximum, then 2 evens appear here. So there are always 2 evens in these 3 red cells. 6 can't go here or here because of that cell, so 6 must go there. There's our first digit in the puzzle after nearly 12 minutes. That must go with a 1 on the line. Now we know there is an odd digit in these 2. This one can't be a 4 now. It has to be even because there's going to be another odd digit here, and we're going to be up to the count of whether it's 2 or 3. So 8 is one of these cells. The other one is obviously something else. But 8 is one of them. This has to be even. Because we've got to the full count of odds there. It can't be 4 because we've got to the full count. No, it can't be 4. Yes, because we have got to the full count of odds there. So that's a 2. This is even. Oh, so it's an 8. Right, there we go. I don't know what this is at all, but thank goodness both 2 and 3 had effectively the same message. Now, we've got 1 and 2 there. I think these can't be low. I might be wrong about this. If they were low, they would be 3 and 4. That would be a 9. These would be 8 and 9, and that would break here. There we go. Gosh, that's deeper than I expected. So if these were low, they'd be 3 and 4. The cells they would touch in column 3 would have to be 8 and 9, but that would break the necessity to have an 8 up here. So my pinky purple is high. My green has become low. Got all my colours done. I didn't get 4 blues in that row. Never mind. This digit can't be a 2 anymore. Now that's quite interesting because this is at least 4. This is at least, can't type, at least 5. And this is at least 6 and therefore red. And there's all our red digits in box 8. So that is going to have to be 5. Then we can feed back 4, 3, and either 2 or 1 in the bulb. That 3 is looking at that cell. This digit is 1 or 2 as well. In fact, all the blues are done in box, whatever box that is, box 4. And we've got a 3 in the circle along, so that is odd, the 5 is odd, one of these two is odd. That's not so helpful. This digit's interesting though. This line is only 8 cells long and it can't be 8, so that is 6 or 7. And either way, it's like this one. It's telling us that 6 other digits on this line are odd. That's quite a lot of these 7 digits. Only one of them is even. Bit of Sudoku. That is a low digit and it sees 1, 2 in its box and 4 below. That's an odd, therefore it doesn't really help with the questions. Only one even digit. This is therefore, well, no, sorry, 3 is touching that digit and it's not 8, so that's a 9. That is just utterly straightforward when I notice it. But again, odd. This one has to be 1 or 2, but this one, well, I don't know, anything high. Okay, we've got this 1, 2 pair. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't really know what to do with that. This digit is probably high, but it could be, well, 50-50 whether it's high or 5. And these numbers I've got haven't really fed anywhere else except down here. These two are low by account of this row, of this box. Okay, I haven't really brought any lessons from these two squares. That's annoying. This digit is 6 or 7 because it sees an 8 and a 9. This one I just don't know. If that was 6, this would have to be 1, which, because of the count of odds, makes this an 8. Then this is a 7-9 pair, and they have to touch 1 and 2. That won't work. Because if that is a 1 and that is a 1, which of these can be a 1? Neither. So that is not a 6, that is a 7. That does nothing for me, does it? Nothing. Oh, it stops this being a 1. Isn't that weird? Because then the count of odds is too high. So that's a 2. Oh, that does a huge amount. 1 there, 2 here. Now, that can't be 2 anymore. I don't know so much about that. What I do know about is this digit is a 1. But on this line, the 3 is counting the 5. We need an odd digit at the end of it. On this line, I don't know, we've got 4 odds. We haven't found the even digit anywhere yet. That is 8 or 9 by Sudoku. This one can't be a 1. I mean, I don't know, that might even be interesting. I've got 4 blues in this column. This one can't be a 1 either. Is there really only one place for a 1 in this column, in the odd cells? There it is. That's now a 3. This is a 1 and the only odd digit on its line. So these two highs are a 6-8 pair. That can't be a 6, or there would be another odd digit on the line. That's an 8. This must be 2 now, and now we're flying along, sort of, relatively, honestly, relatively. Now, this hasn't been done. 3 is touching 8 or 9, and it can't be 8, so that's a 9. That's the second of the odd digits. Now, this is needing an odd digit here that is 9. That's suddenly so blatant. That's a 7-8 pair, and this can't be 3 because it must touch a 7 in one of those positions. So that is a 2. Now, in this central row, what have we got? 4, 5, and 6 still to place. Neither of those can be a 4. That one because of this 4, and that one because of this 3-4 pair. So that's a 4. Then I can place 8 in the box, and then I'm left with a 5-6 pair. Don't know if there's any point continuing colouring, but it seems like I'm doing it. This line is finished. This line is finished. This one, I've never even used that total. I should probably have done, but it's going to be right. It's going to have the 7 and 1 on. Right, this line needs a low digit here, which can't be 2 or 4. That is the third odd digit on the line. This must be even and be 6 or 8. I don't know which it is. That sees a 1. This one must be 1, 2, or 3 because of its position and monogamy. If that was a 1, that would be the only odd digit. All of these would have to be even, but they're 3 different high digits. So that's a 3. That's a 4. This is not 3. At the top of the grid, we've got a 3 now. Odd yet again on this line. That's so strange that this line has not produced its even digit yet. And that one is irrelevant. I mean, that could be odd or even. That wouldn't even count as the even digit. If that was a 6, there'd be another even digit. Oh, that 3 has made this into a 2. That doesn't really communicate anything, but it does down here where we get a 1. That's now a 2 in the box. We need a 1 in one of these cells. These are from 4, 5, 6 and form a triple, so this is a 3, 9 pair. In fact, we know the order because we've got a 3 in column 6. And in this row I'm in, 5, 6, and 7 still need to be placed. Didn't I have a 5, 6 pair looking up or down? No, maybe not. That can't be 5. Oh, 3 must have 8 and 9 as its German whisper partners. So that's now 7, that's 6. There's the even digit on this line, and that means that digit is a 9. Is that going to help, or is it really not? I don't think it is. Oh, that's become a 6 because of this 8. That makes that a 1 by the whisper rules. This might be the last 1 in the grid. I'm I'm just placing. I think it is. That's become a 7 because of the 8 at the bottom of the grid. That's an 8. This is a 4 by Sudoku. 4 is blue if we're keeping colouring. This digit is a 7. We need an 8 in one of those cells, and we've got 4 and 5 still to place. Oh, 4 is on that side, and we now know the order. 4 is there because 1 has to be here. There we go. The other two are 8 and 5. That becomes a 6 as a result of that. Then we can sort out these 5s and 6s in the central rows. We can colour those red. Now I've got 3, 4 and 7 to go in this column. The top one can't be 3. How about this row? That's a naked 7. Oh no, that's no good, because this is going to have to be 7. Oh no, 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 no. Well, that's not 6. Why did I write 6 in there? Let's just go back to when I did that. Oh, I saw 6 there, and I looked into that gap like a numpty when I had 5 and 7 written in it. Okay, well, that was a mistake, but it wasn't long ago, and it's easily fixable. Wow, that's a relief. Right, this digit is the naked single that I saw. 1, 5, 4, 2, 8, 6 in the row, 9, 3 in the column. That is a 7. And then we've got 3 and 9 to go in the row. In this column, we need a 6. That's got to be here, down at the bottom. That's not a 7, and it's not an 8 according to the pencil marking at the top. So they're an 8, 7 pair. That's a naked 5. That's a 4. That's a 9. Now we've got 3, 9. I am going to get rid of all the colouring. Otherwise, I constrain myself to colour everything else in the puzzle. I don't want to bother, if I'm honest. So I've got 5, 2, 4, 8 to complete that box. 4 here. What have we got across the bottom? 3, 5, 7. Okay, I don't know the answer to those yet. Let's write them in. 3, 5, 7, and we'll look up at the top. This row. 4, 2, 3, 7, 1, 9. That's 5 or 8. There's only one place for 6 in the row. And that digit is a naked 5, and that's going to sort out my trio at the bottom. It's going to sort out that cell, which is going to deal with all of my pairs at the top. Got 4, 7 there, 2, 3 here, and there we go. Another classic James Cott puzzle with a beautiful solution path and absolute elegance all the way through. Really interesting. Really nice, not too hard, but crunchy and superb. Thank you, James, for sending us so many fantastic puzzles over the years. The number is high now, and all an absolute pleasure. We'll see you again soon, maybe tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.